Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm making a love themed card using the Up With Love by Mama Elephant. So first of all, I'm using the Up With Love and I will also be using the Kissie letters. I've bought these letters with the idea to use them on the balloons of these adorable critters, and finally I am making that card. So I already stamped out these images just to save some time during the recording. I did this on Neenah using Gina Design's Amalgam ink, and now I'm just placing the love letters on each of the balloons and I'm stamping them out once I'm happy with placement. It was a bit fiddling, but it worked out, so I'm just stamping them out and then I can start coloring. So for the coloring, I'm using my Copic markers. And I'm starting with my darkest color, then going to my mid-tone, and then to my lightest. And sometimes I just have two colors and then I start with my darkest to my lightest. So that's the only variety that you will see here. For the balloons, I have a huge gap between my mid-tone and my lightest one, and there sometimes I will do the tip-to-tip method, where you just take your lighter marker and you touch the tip of your darker marker, and this way it sort of takes over the ink a bit and you can use a mixed version of the two just to get an easier transition. So that's also something that I'm doing today. So for this card, I really wanted to have some warm tones. These 4 images are all the images from the Up With Love, and then there are some hearts and a balloon without a critter as well. But I just wanted to use these cuties. I also have some really simple cards in mind just to send to people because we can. Not really having any situation, but maybe with everything we are all going through, it would be a nice card to give. So I'm planning to do some cards like that with some no-line coloring, with some Copic markers, but just one image, one sentiment, really simple. But as long as your images are cute, then that works perfectly as well. But for today, I'm using them all because I can, yes. So this already is my bear, so that went really quickly. And I mean, the duck, how cute is he or she? I just love it. I think it's the first duck, or at least from this size, and I hope that Mama Elephant is going to come with maybe a complete set of ducks. I don't know. Maybe agenda stamps, I would like that. Yeah, so there are things that I'm hoping for, but then we will wait and see. But they will definitely come out with the most adorable products as we are used of them. So I don't know, I am starting on love themed cards, and sometimes I think maybe I'm just a tiny bit too early. I don't know. What do you think? Like, the brands are coming out with love themed stamps, and we are still crazy doing a lot of Christmas cards and getting everything done and having enough Christmas cards. So are you already doing love themed cards, or are you like, no, it's far from February? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm really curious. But then of course, these are new stamps and I always like to use them as quick as possible, just to be able to inspire you maybe in another way than you thought of already, but also just having a go with them, and this way I'm sure that I'm using every stamp that I'm buying. There are still a lot of stamps that I should have used, like they are lying here crazy long already, and I'm trying to get to them, and then there are new items. We all know the issue. The struggles are real, yes, but yeah. I'm loving it every step of the way. So for this fox, I'm using this E08, and I don't use this color often. I wasn't sure about the fox. Maybe it's a bit too orangey. It was a bit out of my comfort zone, definitely. So I hope that you like it. I'm still figuring it out, what I think about it. But I like coloring it, so that's important. So yeah, these 4 images are almost colored in, and then the hearts are 4 times the same color combination. So once you have a go with it, you know what the rest will be. And I must admit, I always have like the feeling that during the coloring I sort of get better in that specific coloring time frame. And then what I color in the end of the coloring process, I always like more. So also with these heart balloons, there are some I like more, and those are more towards the end. I don't know if you have the same, like you are again getting used of the marker each time you grab them, or that's at least the case with me. And then in the end I'm again comfortable and yeah, funny. So onto the hearts. So I have a combination of 3 colors, of course. Yeah. And I'm trying to have the darker side on the right, but each balloon is a bit turned, so the shadow isn't completely the same. But I'm also not really worried about that. Like, just have fun with it, just have a go with it, and it will be fine. So here I'm doing that tip to tip. The blending just wasn't going as smoothly because there is a huge gap between R14 and R37. I think I got this color combination from an amazing woman on Instagram, and while I am talking I'm going to try to find her because she deserves some credits. It's Marianne Elving, and you can find her on Instagram as Melving76. So I repeat, Melving76, and she makes adorable cards, like adorable. And then she shared some gnomes, and I just adored the red color. And then I asked her, because you can always ask. Also, if you have any questions, you just ask me. I'm here to help. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on YouTube or on Instagram if I wasn't like willing to help you all out. If I can in any way, then you just let me know and I'll be there and try to answer you as quick as possible with some sort of a good answer. Because yeah, not everything works for everyone. So just ask people. If they know, they will help you, definitely. We are with an amazing community. This hobby has the most amazing people around the world. In my opinion, everyone should be making cards because so much love in this community, it's crazy. I live in Belgium and I have so many people I talk to that live in America. I mean, it's something that I would never have imagined in the beginning. I heard it from some card makers on YouTube at that time, that the community was great, and I was like, yeah, right. Yeah, that was the first initial thought. So maybe you are new, you will notice this as well. This community is fantastic. So just having said that, you see the coloring is almost done. So the tip to tip really helped me with these balloons and I just adore it. I also, like always, am going to add some glossy accents to the balloons. So if you aren't completely happy with like the blend, sometimes the addition of glossy accents or stickles or NUVO drops or whatever you want to use can help. So for the background, some things went wrong, but we are going to get through it together. I started with a piece of Neenah, and I used the basic rectangles by Mama Elephant. You know, there is a stitching detail on the edges, and I just prefer leaving it white. If I can, I leave it white. If I don't forget to mask off, I will leave it white always. And then it was time to figure out which color I was going to use on the background, because there isn't a plan before I start. And I was also chatting with Julia from Craft Room Adventures. You know her. She's the one where I'm doing the Challenge a Crafty Friend with. Really lovely person as well. And she was already saying, yeah, maybe try it Marigold and Abandoned Coral. And then I took my book that you just saw. It's actually like a bullet journal that I was going to do with my crazy plans of just getting to know the stamps and making an agenda with stamps, and it was all really lovely, but then again that didn't work out. And since a few months I use it as some sort of a swatch chart and sketchbook for shadows, to add some milestones in it and such. So that helped me. I was agreeing with Julia. And here you can see what went wrong. You probably already saw it the moment that I went there. In the left upper corner, where I'm just trying to fix it now, I had the residue of my purple tape and like an imprint of it in my paper. That's something that I really don't want. You sometimes have it when you run your dye through your die cutting machine and you have your purple tape on the inside, on the part that you are going to use of that dye. It sometimes leaves an imprint. Sometimes you're lucky, but I prefer avoiding it and just add my purple tape on the outside of the die so that I don't have this issue, but I forgot apparently. And I tried to fix it using this cloud stencil by My Favorite Things. Well, it didn't work. As you probably saw in the beginning, there is a white border around my panel on my finished card. And that was also thanks to Julia. Yes, because I said to her that it wasn't working, and I explained to her and she immediately got the issue, you know. We card makers, we see it. And if you're like me, you cannot let it go. Like, we are too harsh on ourselves. I say it all the time to Julia. But then again, I cannot change it. Currently, I cannot change it. And then she came with the amazing idea of just taking a smaller basic rectangle die to cut it out with. But before I did that, I tried to keep my white border. So I thought maybe I can just disguise it with some gold splatters. So I took these gold colors, and I will list down below which ones I used, of course, and I splattered it. I'm using Neenah. Important with Neenah, it's not that good, not that great with water. No. So what I did, I added a bit of water to the gold, and then I really blended it a lot, like, so that the consistency wasn't really watery, but it was just enough to splatter with it. That's really important if you don't want to have some sort of a damaged look on your Neenah. If you want to have really soft gold or just a shine of gold and you want to dilute it really like a lot, you can do that, but just use another paper for your panel then, like Strathmore Bristol Smooth. That works perfectly. If you want to add some water droplets, like some splatters of just water, also perfect, and it's gorgeous and it's sublime sometimes. Use another paper, no Neenah. Okay, so as you can see here, or I'm still focused on the issue, you can still see it, and I wasn't happy with it. But then when I removed my last purple tape strip, I saw that I added it crooked. So there was also a sliver of my panel that wasn't the edge, that was still white. So that was also an issue. So the inevitable taking the smaller basic rectangle die was going through. So I just tried to again place my images to see whether that was still working, and then I die cut everything. And then I had the idea that I just wanted to have like a bit of a joke, not necessarily, but there is this sentiment, love is in the air, and with love in the balloons, it's like love is in the air, literally. So if I would have had literally between brackets, I would have added it as well, because I just thought it was funny. But then again, this sentiment is great for love themed cards, as this one is. So it was a great addition in my opinion. I'm just trying to figure out placement of my images, and then I'm going to stamp it out using the same ink as for my critters, being the Gina K Designs Amalgam ink. So here I have placed my images to be sure that the sentiment was positioned correctly, and now I'm just going to add my foam squares. These are thin ones, on the back of my critters, on the back of the balloon, and then I will add it, keeping them in place with the purple tape, and then I will slowly remove the purple tape, and then this panel is sort of finished. So I'm making sure that I'm covering the whole back of these critters to avoid just going bulky and maybe ripping and anything that can go wrong during mailing. I was trying to avoid that by just adding enough. Better too much than too little. So I removed the backings, and then I could add it to this panel. And then the only thing left to do was to add this panel to a card base. I used some liquid glue to have some wiggle room to get it perfectly aligned in the center of my card base. And then I added the glossy accents as well to the balloons, because that's just a nice touch in my opinion when there are balloons. And I don't use the glossy accents, I think it's just a mistake. Then I just forgot about it, which is almost impossible, but I love glossy accents onto balloons. Okay, just making that clear. So I just scored my card base. There was a little sliver excess, and then I can easily center this panel. So with the glossy accents on there, it will be completely finished. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you, I don't know, maybe learned something. This is not revolutionary or anything, but yeah, don't quit when something isn't going your way. Maybe there is a way to fix it, and if you don't know the way to fix it, ask around, like ask your friends, ask your mother, your father, whoever is close to you, whoever responds like really quickly, because you need to be able to continue with this card, of course. Just don't quit, try to fix it. It's not always easy, but if you don't try, you will not know whether it's going to work or not. So yeah, I've really had a lot of fun coloring in these critters and creating this card, and I adore the combination of the reds on the balloons. So this is my card. I hope you enjoyed it, and I am also hoping to see you back soon with another video. Have a wonderful day, be safe. Bye!